Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work. Hard work. Earn more pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Let me go and earn more pay. Hard work, work. Put the boots on and lace them up. Hard work, work. Another day to work. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work. Hard work. I earn my pay. Hard work, work.
Attention to the talk. Boys, we are back. This is the talk. This is our 5th episode. For everybody who's never seen it, this is a new show that we do where we just kind of get together, bullshit like we used to back in the Army. I, Sleeveless Mike, the beautiful son of a bitch in the middle is Evo, and the guy on the right, big, sexy himself, Coop. Boys, great to see you. It's been a little while since we've done one of these. It's about a month. So I'm sure the people are going to be happy when they get another one. But I'm happy to see you guys. And I'm kind of baked already. So let's get this fucking thing rolling.
Yeah, man. Look, it's tough to get it. Like Mike and I do the Lyman Lounge stuff pretty regularly, like twice a week. And that can be not a struggle finding the time to do it and get it all worked out. But it's a lot easier with 2 people. 3 people makes it difficult. We all got families. We all got lives. Like it is tough to fucking find time to get all together to do this. But it's good when we get to do it. You know, it's good seeing you guys and getting to bullshit a little bit. So especially,
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess I see Mike all the time, but see Cooper's, you know, dummy thick ass. It's always always good.
I know. I try. I mean, those of you who know me and know my wife, Lacey, I mean, I would be really easy to schedule down if it wasn't for her making my life super fun and scheduling everything. I'm just kidding. Especially this time of year, though, really. I mean, with the sports and the holidays and everything, it's crazy. Just finished up football season, rolling right into wrestling season and basketball season for Sherilyn. It's crazy in this household for sure.
Yeah, you got a harem of children, man.
Yeah, you have a ton of kids. I only have 2 kids that are doing sports, Graydon and Aubrey. Both are actually doing wrestling. So
heck yeah, dude. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, the boys they just moved Jackson up to the next level. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, man. She's nervous. But she's 5. She doesn't pay attention to shit anyways. I think her somewhat natural athletic abilities will kind of help her to start with. But as soon as she runs into a kid that's been wrestling for a year or 2, same thing that happened to G last year, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Yeah. Every once in a while, you're gonna run into somebody who's been doing this a long time. You're gonna get your ass kicked. I remember when I wrestled, it wasn't fun when that happens, but it does happen.
If I learned anything with youth wrestling so far, it's that as long as at the end of this year she knows what a pin is, if she makes it that far in knowledge, she's winning. All right. So they don't learn much that first year, but it's all about getting that first year over with.
Yeah.
So.
But all right, guys. All right. So we're gonna get this thing started. Evo, you want to kick off the show with your first video? Or it was a video that you had, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. I think you are, Mike, but the comedian Shane Gillis.
Yes, I am very familiar with Shane Gillis.
So
I didn't know I never remember his name, but I love his comedy.
He's one of my favorite comedians right now, and I feel like he's only getting bigger and bigger as he's kind of hitting more on the national stage. Now, Shane Gillis, you might know him from the past. He was a Saturday Night Live member for like 6 days before cancel culture went out and got him.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He made some jokes about Asian ethnicity or whatever, which, you know, were funny, and they're still funny today because they're jokes. But SNL, you know, is part of that super hardcore liberal cancel culture type of situation being there in New York. And so as soon as a Deadspin article or something like that came out about him from this podcast, he immediately was nixed and probably put him in a pretty dark spot from what it sounded like, you know, in the interviews that he's done. And he's become way bigger than I think he ever would have been with Saturday Night Live. You know, he's pretty consistently out there in Austin, Texas. I think he lives there now with Rogan, always playing Rogan's new place, the Mothership, and has become really popular. And I fucking love his comedy. He puts most of his stuff out on YouTube, so it is free to watch. And if not on YouTube, you know, he's got it on Netflix, I believe, as well. His most recent special is fucking hilarious, and I have a clip from his most recent special, which actually goes a little bit into some of the military stuff that we've seen. Rooting for the other team, maybe a little bit, but hopefully everyone can find the humor in it. Like
Mine
I found the
watches
humor in it.
like death videos on the internet. I don't. He watches them. If we're hanging out, I'll watch. We watch. I watch. Fuck. I was over at his place. We were watching. I don't know if you noticed. The war in the Middle East is just on the internet. The whole fucking thing. Every dude out there on both sides was wearing GoPros the entire time. Like, you can watch it. We watched like 3 hours of the war in Iraq. And after the first hour, I found myself starting to cheer. Not cheer, but like relate. I felt like I could relate more to the monkey bars guys. You know what I mean? They were a little more my speed. You ever wonder how you would do out there? Watch those guys. Those are just normal fucking dudes. Second shots are fired. There's no game plan. Everyone's like, no shit. Very relatable. Guns jamming. Try to fire a rocket, it goes straight fucking backwards. They look like me trying to fire a gun. Their feet move when they shoot. Very relatable. They also never won. They got fucked up every single time. Bad. They would blow up like one truck every 5 months. They'd be just as surprised as everybody. Shit finally worked out. You could hear it in their voice. Someone would blow up, they'd be like, oh! It's like, yeah, dude, that's a human reaction. That's relatable. That's what I would do if I saw a fucking explosion. I'd go, oh! That's human. You ever watch us kill people? I can't relate to that at all. There's some Black Hawk helicopter with night vision, mows down like 40 people. Pilot gets on, he just goes, clear. Just flies away. It's like, yo, that's a psycho. That guy didn't give a fuck about that. At least ISIS is down there having fun, dancing afterwards. You know? It's like Ewok Village down there, you know?
That dude's so funny. You know, I don't know. You didn't mention it already, but he also was went to West Point.
Yeah. It's he has a joke about that. He was on a football scholarship.
Did he really?
Went to West Point, didn't make the team, immediately quit West Point. So he's like, not only did I go to West Point, which you get a medal for doing. So I'm a military veteran. I played D1 professional college football for a little bit. I also was a cast member on Saturday Night Live. So I think I've been doing pretty good in my life.
Yeah. He's like, I had a pretty stellar resume if you just look at it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
No, I love Shane Gillis. If you haven't checked out his shit, it is well worth watching. His Trump impressions, fucking fantastic.
Wow. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, you know what I love about stories like that? Because there's a few stories like that out there with comedians or other influencers that kind of went big. Is like, now that I think social media did bring on cancel culture, but at the same time, it also fought against it. It came on real strong for a while. Late 2000 teens, up into 2020-ish, and then
I would say that cancel culture is almost to the point where it's not even a big deal anymore. Like,
no,
it's not happening.
Now.
It's not happening like the way it used to happen.
No, not at all. But it was bad for a minute.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that the loudest voices aren't always the majority. Like, the loudest voices can be the minority. And after putting up with this shit now for going close to a decade, I think the normal populace is kind of like, come on now, chill the fuck out. So those people get on, they're still loud, they're still trying to do their cancel culture, and somehow that feeds your internal feeling of justification because you fuck someone's career up or something like that. But at the end of the day, the rest of us are kind of like, chill out. Like, you're probably just as shitty a person, if not a shittier person, for what you're doing. Like, absolutely. No one gives a fuck anymore. Like, I respect comedians going for it. Now, I mean, it's not like Kramer dropping, the N-word.
Don't say the N-word.
Like, that's an oopsie. But I don't think like a person, for having a failed moment should have their career taken away from them. And like I said, if anything, it propels people to be better. Same thing happened with another comedian I really like, Chris D'Elia. Like, that, they went after him for stuff. He kind of went away for about a year. Went through a lot of like therapy and stuff like that, not because of necessarily what allegedly happened, but because like it made him reflect, be like, okay, I'm a sex addict. I also have feelings that I am deflecting through my comedy and I need to fix myself a little bit more. And my girl and I went up and saw Chris D'Elia a couple months ago up in Tucson perform stand-up, once he got back on stage, and he was fantastic. It's a different style of comedy. It's a lot more reflective and a lot more adult, because his stuff was like a little bit more like girl kitty humor, and it was fucking great. But like his comedy now is different and fantastic, and it made him evolve and become a better comedian. So like it's having a negative effect from what the people who are trying to cancel these people, it's propelling them in a different direction and adding a new spark to their career in many ways.
Well, it's like Matt Rife.
Isn't that the goal though? Oh yeah, Matt Rife is fucking going through it right now,
dude. He is, but dude, and I don't know if there's anything more.
Is he really?
No, I don't think he's really
no. It's just getting more views on his Netflix special.
It is, and that's any press is good press. Doesn't matter. Bad press is good press. Doesn't matter, right? So, but that whole special needs helmet post
once
for
again,
his apology
don't
video.
say the N-word. That's not good press.
Yeah,
the N-word.
That's true.
No, that's
But the R word it's making a comeback, and Shane Gillis is helping it because
and he's using the term. I watched the new special. It's fucking hilarious.
Absolutely, he refers to himself being like what he's saying that the Down syndrome gene trying to hit him, and he was like whoa, just dodging it barely, but it nicked him, so he's got a little bit, and he's able to look the part really well when he's describing it.
Well,
also,
and he has an uncle.
Yes, an uncle who has Down syndrome. And a great bit about grilled cheeses with cheese. But also he participated, worked with the Special Olympics for years, and was like a coach for the Special Olympics. So he's like big into that community and helping them out. And if it's almost worse if we want to be like, oh, this is a special person, we need to treat them differently. No, treat them like a normal person. That's what they want to be treated like. And we make fun of each other as normal people. So why are we not going to make fun of this situation? It's not to bash them or beat them down. It's including them in normal human life. So it's almost worse if you want to try to not include them.
Right.
That's just my 2 cents.
Absolutely. I mean, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No. Go ahead, because I'm gonna devolve this conversation in just a second.
I was just gonna bring up, another one more comedian that always pushes it a little close to the sun, especially with all that is, and Theo Von. Mm-hmm. That dude. Oh yeah. He just doesn't care. But and I think I love his comedy and the way he comes out. And I did just see a recent video of him with I think he was it was an advertisement or support for Down syndrome and things like that. But and that's he does have a good couple of skits or stories whenever it comes to the tism, as he refers to it. So but I agree with you 100%, right? Like I feel like it's almost more insulting to treat somebody differently because of a disability or anything else than just to treat them like you normally would. I'm going to talk shit to you. Like I'm going to talk shit to that person. I can talk shit to that person. I'm not going to hold it back just because they're.
And typically, if I'm talking shit about someone, it's not because if I'm actually having a funny joking banter about it, it's because I like the person. If I dislike a person, I'm not going to talk shit
to them.
Fun. Yeah. It is going to. I'm going to tear them down probably.
Yeah.
And
if I'm not talking shit about you or joking with you, then I probably don't like you or don't trust you. Yeah. One of the two things.
All right, Mike, go ahead and devolve the conversation into
the depths.
On the topic that he is discussing, how many fucking times have you guys seen just the most ridiculous, dude runs around the corner and oh yeah, he's about to be into a battle, and then all of a sudden, boom, explosion. That guy is not helping the fight anymore. They had a really hard time over on the other side. We did not make it easy for them, and it was just cold. We were like, all right, next one.
It was business for us, and it was kind of thrust into life for them. Look, I mean, it's not like, oh, they're playing checkers and we're playing chess type thing. It was they're trying to fucking play tic-tac-toe in the sand, and we're playing 3-dimensional chess. it honestly, in a lot of ways, is not fair, but that's kind of the business that you get into when you want to go toe to toe with Big Brother, if you will. So, I mean, I guess there's some remorse in certain senses, but at the end of the day, I know personally, anyone that got it from my hands deserved it. They asked for it.
Right.
But it is funny, and like you would see a lot of like different parts of the theater that we would go into would be dumb fighters, and you would
Oh,
see them
dude.
do the stupid shit. And then
Yes, but
we would also
some
have
of
the
them
stuff.
dudes are legit. Some of those dudes
Well,
are good tacticians.
And those guys are probably Iranian fighters, because we had a lot of that. Like where I was
Probably.
stationed was spillover. We were bordered with Iran in the location I was at in Afghanistan, and I remember complex attacks coming from Iranian soldiers that were in Afghanistan, where it's like, hey, we're going to have a big show I'll even break it. We got word that there is a bunch of Iranian militants that had come into the country, and they were staging to attack the base that I was at. And so we got a general location of where we thought they would be. And sure enough, there's about 8 vehicles and maybe 100 dudes all packing in weapons and stuff into these vehicles and everything, getting ready to apparently come towards the base that I'm at. And so we watched them get on the road and start going towards us. And all of a sudden, not only is it me and another one of our planes, we've got 2 Reapers, a spooky gunship out there, and schwacked them. We didn't get to do the initial schwacking, but I mean, they take out the lead vehicle, the rear vehicle, and they basically box them in on this road. And then everyone gets out of the cars and starts scrambling. And that's
and
when
the fucking
you
turkey
have
shoot.
Spooky going nuts. You've got the Reaper going after stuff. And then we get some of the squirter control where we followed a guy into a goat pen. And let's just say a lot of those goats made a sacrifice that day. It was pretty awesome. But that's the thing, is that like you do have your dumb fighters, but respect to a lot of the other. I mean, respect to them all. I mean, if you're gonna fight, you're gonna fight. You know what you're getting into. But yeah, those Iranian guys, the trained ones, are typically coming from that sort of region, Iran and whatnot, and they can be very technically and tactically good at what they do.
All right, Matt, you got anything else?
No.
Well, I was gonna say,
right.
we did
know
bring
we
up
didn't.
cancel culture there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. But before we do more talk
Right.
about cancel culture, Matt, what are you drinking? We didn't do this before we started.
I'm drinking me a little bit of Blanton's today.
Nice.
Oh, that is my favorite, dude. That is my favorite shit on the planet.
Yeah. But it's so damn hard to find in Alabama sometimes. I mean, everything's
It's hard to find
here.
everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
People go buy it and resell it. I have a buddy that does a resale market.
That's a lot. There's a lot of that going on here in Alabama for sure.
Yeah. I am once again just drinking Simply Lemonade. But about an hour before we started, I smoked a bowl, and now I'm going to take this gummy. So
very nice. And you got a kid behind you.
No problem. That's going to be really good for the for a show.
Yeah. Responsibility, adult responsibility. I'm just drinking water tonight, fellas, because yesterday was my 2-year anniversary. Me and the lady had a nice dinner, had some libations, and then I just kept drinking. Ended up playing some video games last night. I was telling Mike before the show, I was playing the new Call of Duty, the zombies mode, where big open map and you're driving around, and I was drunk driving like a motherfucker. I was like, I don't know how people do this, because like I'm decent at this game and I'm running into fucking everything, and my motor functions were shot. So either way, had a decent amount to drink last night, polished off a bottle of whiskey, ended up having to get into the rum for it after that. And then, so yeah, I'm just sticking with water for right now.
That's good. That's good.
Anything in your house, it was getting got.
Yeah, I had a pretty decent time. I ended up like, I was playing so shitty that I told myself, like, I need to figure this out. And so I started eating a whole bunch of peanuts, trying to get myself fucking a little bit sober so I could at least play the game a little bit and with just to have a buzz. But it was a good time.
That's funny. That happens to me, the whole drinking and driving on games, because I've been playing Gran Turismo 7 on Malachi's PS5. And I'll have some whiskey, get up there, and it ain't happening. Like that, those car simulation games are pretty real sometimes.
Absolutely.
I don't do any of the driving, but G and I have been running a Madden franchise, playing on the same team. I threw so many interceptions.
Uh-oh. Were you Josh Dobbs?
I was not Josh Dobbs. I played as DTR for a lot of it. I also traded Deshaun away, and I got what the hell's his name? Quarterback from the Bears. Justin Fields. That wasn't great either. And our cap situation is so bad that we have restarted just to enjoy playing with the guys that we know.
Yep, I got you.
Oh, that's fun.
Alrighty.
Sounds like a controller got broken.
Yeah, this is not the Lyman Lounge, though, so we're not going to talk about that. But glad everybody can have something to drink. I know, Evo, you probably don't want one because
I mean, I kind of do, but I'm trying to be responsible right now. I've still got work tomorrow in the morning, and the potential for flying a plane, so I have to keep it under wraps a little bit. But you were talking about football in the video game there, and we were talking about cancel culture beforehand, and I think that leads into a story that we're all kind of tracking and wanted to talk about. All right, so whoever wants to go for it, go for it.
I'm not even a Chiefs fan. Go ahead.
Deadspin is a fucking. It's a complete sham. It's not journalism. I don't understand.
Is there any journalism nowadays, though? Come on now.
Honestly, so here's the thing. I didn't want to bring that up at this point, but anytime you watch the news, you're being lied to, it feels like at this point. I have almost no trust in any form of news other than other civilian sourced news that you can find through social media. But that's because you get things like this story where you have, a organization that's flat out lying about a situation going on, accusing a small child of blackface who's at a Chiefs football game. And then you find out that is absolutely not what is going on. Let me pull this up. I got the picture of the kid.
Do you have both pictures of the kid?
I only have the one where you actually see what he's supposed to look like.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I've seen the picture of it side by side.
So I don't know. Can I zoom in on that?
That kid's about to be rich.
Yeah, I know. Evo, tell me how to zoom in on my screen.
Hold control on the plus sign. Hold control and then press the plus sign. Oh, that's not working very well.
Nope. Okay. So
we get
do you have them up, Evo?
What's up?
Do you have them up or no?
I'm gonna try to find it. You keep talking.
Okay. Yeah. So this kid is in face paint with a Native American headdress. He's a fan of the Chiefs. It makes total fucking sense why he's dressed in the way he's dressed. But he also looks like a little white kid. So there were people who are upset because he's culturally appropriating Native American culture with the headdress. He's also in blackface, which wouldn't even make sense for him to be in blackface and wearing a Native American headdress. So I don't understand the fucking point of what this guy was trying to say. Like the headline's not even believable if you think about it. There's a young boy wearing a Native American headdress in blackface. Like, did this young boy just let him go to a fucking game like that?
Well, my question is, so I haven't seen. Are you freeze? Oh, sorry. You look like you froze up, Mike. But I haven't seen a lot of what's other people or the reviewers are saying about it. There are a lot of people who are agreeing with this, like legitimately pissed off. Because I've seen more
Twitter
against
has
it.
Lamb-based. Yeah, Twitter has been absolutely roasting Deadspin, which is where I spend the most of my time of social media on Twitter. So.
Okay.
All right. So this is the original image and the one that was used by Deadspin originally. So from the side here, it does look like the kid is wearing blackface. Now, if you want to get into the tribal headdress, that's a whole different situation. And that's maybe the route, if they really wanted to try to trash him, that's the route they should have gone.
He's a Native American. That boy's father sits on a Native American council.
All right. Well, all right, cool. Because we'll go ahead and pull that down. Let me share another screen here.
Now, they look white, but
there you go. Sure. But this is the picture of him facing forwards. So he's obviously doing Chiefs colors for his team. But Deadspin didn't want to look at that. Let's paint a certain particular narrative and just show the one side and then try to trash a child. And you know what? To be completely honest, it takes a special type of human being and person to decide I'm going to try to cancel or fuck over a kid. And it's not like the information wasn't out there to correct themselves. And it's obviously not one person that did this. This is the organization, because one person doesn't just say, hey, I'm going to make an article and post it on Deadspin. It goes through editors and things like that.
Well, I'm curious on how Deadspin will be looking next year after the lawsuit's done.
I mean, I assume companies like this probably carry insurance and whatnot to combat this sort of stuff.
There's only so much insurance you can have for libel. Like,
right.
I don't think they offer insurance for libel, because that's exactly what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are painting a very false narrative in print.
Yeah.
That is textbook libel case. Like, this is a fucking slam dunk if they decide to actually take them to court, which I hope they do, because Deadspin is essentially worthless as a news dissemination platform.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what else to call them.
And like you were saying, Ava, how the hell did this make it through? How many levels of editors before it actually went through? Someone had to have been like, okay, this might be a stretch.
I mean, witch hunt is the name of the game in a lot of these. Again, light use of the word news organizations these days. It's more about painting the narrative that they want to paint and making sure that they get the clicks initially, and then if they fuck up, it's cool. They're not going to issue an apology, and if they do, it's going to be pushed to the bottom of the screen, not going to be prioritized, anything like that. There's no accountability for places like this with a lot of stuff. So I mean, we've seen false narratives be pushed for the past couple of years concerning our country. Russian collusion things. The Covey Wovey is, I guess, what we call it. Like, there's a lot of narratives that were pushed, and people would push back against them, and then those people would get shut down, canceled, gone after, and blah blah blah. But when it turns out that they're correct, there's no retraction.
No.
It's bullshit. And it's sad that people can get away with it these days. I too hope that this kid and his family and maybe even the tribal nation that he's a part of can go after Deadspin for this, because it's pretty appalling. And sooner or later, these organizations need to learn that they can't just willy-nilly fuck around like they have been.
Yeah, there needs to be accountability for sure, on these media networks. I mean, even some, I don't want to get too far into the weeds on social networks and their selective, blacklisting of posts and things like that. So I'm not trying to get too political on that side, but if you're gonna control the information putting out, then you should also be responsible for the bad information that you put out and whatever comes from that. You know what I mean? So I don't know if we'll ever get there though. Like in a full, I don't think it will ever stop, because it's so effective. Like you said, once that lie is pushed out there, the apology and the settlement agreement, that's all handled behind curtains. That doesn't get pushed out it's not as effective, right? It doesn't make it to the masses. There's still going to be a whole group of people who thinks that lie is still valid and true. And that's the goal. That's why it's still happening. So it's so prevalent in our media and everywhere, is because it's effective. It's effective marketing.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Now, one thing you guys said that you're not sure if there's really effective journalists out there anymore. I think that there are. You just have to work really hard to find them, typically. Because like your CNNs, MSNBC, Fox News, all that stuff, like, you really have to take everything that you're seeing with a grain of salt, because they're displaying it through a certain lens. But a lot of what I would consider to be good journalists have gone out and become independent.
Right.
You have Crystal and Sagar, who put out a really good show. One's a Republican, one's a Democrat. They own their own show, and they put it out for the masses on YouTube and stuff like that. You can do Patreon subscriptions, and then that's how they make their money. Matt Taibbi is a journalist who I really respect. He went through the Twitter files and stuff like that. Elon selected him as one of the people to go through the Twitter files and show like the corruption and stuff that was going on there with Twitter when he bought it. Those sorts of independent journalists, because Taibbi used to write for like Rolling Stone and stuff like that, but decided that the organization was not for him anymore because they were censoring certain things or not allowing him to write important articles or only wanting things to be put through a certain lens. So these independent journalists have gone to places like Substack. Now, you will pay a little bit of a price to go to these places and view their journalism, but honestly, I think that it's worth it instead of being beholden to these major news media organizations. Typically, for me personally, if I see something from one of those places, it's kind of like how I would do research papers in college. You're not supposed to cite Wikipedia, right? But Wikipedia is a damn good source to get you pointed in the right direction. It's the nugget that can lead you on a correct path. So I would use that as like a sourcing site for myself, and then go from there and find actual articles and things like that. So if I see something on a major news network, I'm not going to say, well, this is complete bullshit. I look into it more and I go to more trusted sources than your CNNs, MSNBCs, and Fox News's, because it's typically bullshit and skewed. And I would prefer to create my own idea of what I'm viewing.
You put it in
Objective
Wikipedia.
journalism.
I just put it in Chat GPT now.
There you go, ChatGPT.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that.
And a call back to episode 1, I believe, with AI.
They just pushed that update on Chat GPT 4.0 where it actually uses.
Well, you let me know when I can use it and get away with using it in college papers, and I'll care.
I mean, we could talk after this.
No, no, I'll do my own work for now until it gets really hard. Until it gets really hard, and then
I can't use it for software engineering because I'm actually going to have to know how to do that.
Yeah, that's kind of an important.
Right.
That's not a soft skill.
Right? Yeah. Can't fake that one.
Yeah. So before we move on to the next thing, the talk of the independent journalists, and it's awesome. Because I know Taibbi because I'm on Twitter. I follow some of those people. But
X.
It's X, whatever the fuck it's called now. But it almost feels like we're being ripped off, not by them, but by the media, because we shouldn't have to go out and search for 3, 4 extra different sources outside of what is shared to the masses. Like, one of the most powerful things that we have, and I'm going to sound very high and mighty, is knowledge. But that's one of the most important things we have. So to continue to keep news and knowledge that is not slanted away from people is fucking wrong. And we're being screwed by the media corporations that we have to go out and search for 3, 4 other outside sources, people who are maybe trusting or trustable. Because they're not. They all it cares about is clicks and money now, and they're literally withholding certain pieces of knowledge from people so they can't make informed decisions. Like, that's one of the greatest things that we have in this country is the ability to get knowledge, make informed decisions, and then go elect our leaders. But if we don't have any actual sense of fucking truth, how do we do that effectively as a population?
Well, Mike, isn't that the point? Like you said it, knowledge is power, dude. I mean, and if they have it and then they control it, then they have power over us. I mean, that's the problem, right? That is the problem. And then they can't control everything and all the information that you can find, right? They can't control that. So what happens? They flood everything with all sorts of different points of view and different information so that you can't even, it's so hard to delineate what is right and what is wrong. Like, without actually going to the source. And when I say to the source, I'm like, without actually going and looking at one of Trump's speeches, I can't even really tell I don't know what article was right about what they're saying about his speech, and I just use that as an example. But you know what I mean? Like you almost have to just become your own journalist just to get the information.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying my best not to keep on going back to COVID stuff, man, because
Oh, I know.
it
It's the
was
easiest
so
one.
rough, man.
It's the most powerful one too.
Like
The
the
powerful example.
ivermectin stuff
Oh yeah.
was insane. And it's become an argument in my family. Like me and my dad are at odds on it because he only saw the normal stuff that was being put out, and I'll put it out there. I've taken ivermectin, never gotten COVID.
Me too.
Never gotten COVID.
Did get COVID.
Mike and I did a long form 3-hour podcast where we're sitting across the table from one another, and then afterwards he's like, "Yo," like texting me a couple hours later, "I got COVID. I just tested positive." So what I do, I pop some of that ivermectin. Look, I'm not saying that the ivermectin did it. I was taking a lot of stuff, a lot of vitamins and things during that time, but like I never got COVID, and I got tested all the time because of the doctor I go to. Once every like 2 months would not only do tests to see if I had it, but would do antibody tests to see if I had it. So with relative certainty, I can say like I know I didn't get sick during that whole time. But either way, I'm having a conversation with my dad. I'm like, yeah, I'm take this stuff when I need to, and he's like, that's one of the most dangerous things you could do. That's a dangerous medication. I was like, it's not. It's one of the most commonly used medications. And he's like, you didn't see the whole thing.
It's a wide spectrum antibiotic.
Right.
Yeah, like the amounts that you would have to.
It's like taking Doxy.
The amounts that you would have to take for it to be like dangerous and lethal are like horse grade stuff. Like you're talking about insane amounts, which no one has like realistic access to. And so it's like I started sending him like peer-reviewed journals of why this stuff is safe, and not even necessarily to combat COVID, but like just regular stuff like this is how safe it is to take. And then he's sending me news articles saying, oh, this is why ivermectin is bad, this is why it's bad. And they were talking about there was the one where there's people dying in the hospital from ivermectin or whatever, and the photo,
that's because the form they were taking, though,
the photo showed people outside in winter coats and snow and stuff like that, and that it was overloading this ER, right? It was the middle of summer. So the photo wasn't even correct. It was just a photo of outside of a hospital, a lot of people trying to get in from a different time. So you can't even trust that stuff. There has been news agencies like Rolling Stones that had to retract a whole bunch of this shit because it was all bullshit. They ended up contacting the hospitals. They're like, we never were overloaded with people taking ivermectin because you can't really get ivermectin poisoning. Now, people took a lot of weird shit and did end up getting hospitalized, sure. But like, it's stuff like that. The news put out one narrative, and it was take the vaccine.
Yep.
But there were other things out there that were proven to be,
and before
at least,
that,
if not effective, they proved to be safe.
Right. And before the vaccine or the shot that they said would help you actually got pushed out, it was just the fear, right? I mean, you just said like people went to the hospital for all sorts of things, taking all sorts of things. It's because there's so much fear built up. People were trying crazy ideas, dangerous ideas, to try to save them from something that they probably would have just gotten over naturally. Because if you were a healthy, middle-aged adult or younger, like you pretty much didn't have any worries. You know what I mean? So, and how many people lost their lives? I mean, from the fear. You know what I mean? Then how many people lost their livelihoods?
Now I'm not a historian.
And one more thing: how many of our kids have speech impediments because they had to wear masks?
I don't know.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, sorry. Well, we don't have to talk about that right now.
Okay, that's your tinfoil hat, Matt.
Yeah,
that's not tinfoil hat.
There's secondaries that we don't even
that's
understand.
Not tinfoil hat.
I'm sure there's secondaries effects that we don't even know about or understand and won't know for a while. But sorry to get us on COVID.
No, it's all right. And when you consider the fact that the drug was pushed through in record time, which in record time by President Trump, who then that entire narrative changed. Crazy that it went that way. Like vaccines, push them through. We need them. Okay, Republicans, yes, we like that. And now it's completely fucking flipped. Democrats are like, you gotta get the fucking shot. It was bad before, but now it's good because our guys in charge.
They were trying to block all of his shit.
Dude, it's crazy to me that people are like, Trump is the president that pushed it fucking through. But now it's good. It wasn't good then. Now it's good. Yeah. But because our guy's in charge, we need more of that because that gives us power. They think we're stupid, and we can't see it.
And a lot of of the left will try to make that same argument towards, people on the right side of the aisle. Say, well, it was good when Trump was pushing it. It's like, look, I didn't like the idea of a vaccine getting pushed like that at all. It was never about whether or not it was able for people to take. It was all about whether you're being forced to take it, which wasn't the case. Well, at least, I guess we never really fully got to that point with Trump. Who knows? If he would, I feel like that would have never came to it if he stayed in the presidency.
It would have happened, Matt. There are two sides of the same fucking coin.
I don't think it would have been pushed from his party as far as pushing it as a mandatory vaccine to like people losing their jobs.
I don't know.
You tie it to immigration or some other fucking thing, and now you can mandate it because all it does is give the government control. It has nothing to do with right or left. It's about government and control.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now I'll put my fucking tinfoil hat on.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I like tinfoil hats.
I agree with what Mike is saying is that you can call it the right wing or the left wing, but it's all part of the same fucking bird. Like
sure.
They're all going to do the same shit in one way, shape, or form or another. We just never got to see it all come to fruition. So we're talking about potentialities, and we don't really know what would have happened or anything like that. But what we do know is what has happened, and that's probably what gets us angered and upset about it. But do you guys want me to break this?
Yeah, actually, I got my video. I am ready because I know that we all have beautiful ladies in our lives. We love them very much, and we probably trust them more than anything in the world. They would never hurt us, right, guys?
Right, for sure.
I mean, yeah.
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 No, dog. All right. So
no.
Okay. Team Balmert. These guys on TikTok, very, very popular couple on TikTok. They do a lot of the challenges, like who can get a sock off the other person first. They did the tortilla slap thing. Well, there's this new challenge, the Trust My Wife challenge. So we'll watch the Trust My Wife challenge real quick, and then we'll bring it back for more questions.
2, 3.
Oh my God!
This is called the Trust My Wife.
Oh my God. Okay.
3.
Oh.
2.
Did you already break? You already broke something.
I broke the clock.
Okay, this is a bad idea.
Not a good start.
Practice on something first.
1, 2.
Oh my God, Lynn, you almost hit me. Oh, why are you swinging so hard? My name is Chris, and it's called the Trust My Wife Challenge. Okay, no, wait, I'm not ready. Did you do it?
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Did you swing?
I did. 2, 3.
Oh, God, you got me in the stomach.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my God!
It gets worse.
Why did he let her continue?
1, 2.
Oh!
2, 3.
Oh my
All right.
God!
This is called.
That is
So,
rough.
guys, I know we love our wives. They're fantastic. Do you trust your wife? And don't worry, I'll go first. And the answer is unequivocally no. Absolutely fucking not. Do not trust her as far as I can throw her. she will slap. It'll hit me right in the fucking face.
I feel like my woman has the athletic talent and capability to do it correct, and she would intentionally hit me in the face. Yeah, because any chance that there is for a little domestic violence, because look, let's be real, if it was flipped around, I feel good about myself being able to do that. Like, I feel like I would be accurate and anything, but God help it if I miss, like, I could be going to jail. All right.
See, I trust Lacey 100%. I'd let her do it buckle first.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, she's also was an athletic specimen as
Hey,
well.
you know
right?
what, Matt? There is a social media that we have on Facebook. I would love to see that video be made. If you 100% Lacey and you'll let her go buckle first.
Ugh. Yeah, like a big old cowboy buckle.
I got you.
You're gonna walk this one back now.
Yeah. Next video.
That look, I can tell you this. If and when Hannah sees this, she's probably gonna be like, "Let's go, motherfucker!"
Right.
So you might have just got me in a
I think
world
we
of trouble.
should do it, guys.
All right.
Producer Amber, she's not the producer for the show. Amber looked at me as like, I would absolutely hit you in the face. Like I could. She didn't even trust herself. No, not a fucking chance.
The problem is my belts are already so long because I have a lot of muscle around my waist area.
Yes, there's a lot of girthy abs.
So it just that leverage on the belt actually is worse because then you're going to get more drop, you know. And the thing is that lady in that video, she was doing it right. You have to swing hard as shit to try to keep it straight.
keep
it's
it
when you
level.
slow it down. So
Yeah.
you know, you're just playing with fire though.
I think you got to get the angle. That's the angle.
Yeah.
You got to get it at an upswing, like a golf shot, like you're hitting it hitting a driver.
Right. I agree.
There
I
are
can't hit the
definitely
driver
things to
for
think
shit,
about there.
though, so.
All righty. Well, I got a question for you guys. And Matt, if you got a topic for us, get it ready. But this is a real quick one. Now, we've always heard the thing like, oh, how many, like, what could you physically handle fighting off like a certain animal, like a bear or something like that, right? We've all heard that.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the scenario. Land-based animals only, not like a fucking shark or something like that, because that messes things up. Land-based animal. What's the largest or scariest animal that you could fight off if you had 2 samurai swords?
Ooh, I get fucking weapons?
Yes.
2 samurai swords?
Yep. So you can just fucking go crazy if you want to. You could drop one if you think you're going to be.
I think I'd be safer with just one because if I swing one with my left hand, I'm likely to hit my own leg.
That's true. There's something to think about. But I'm giving you the option of 2 samurai swords. What's the biggest and meanest, scariest animal that you think that you could fight off? Because when I'm being realistic with myself, I know that I would probably still cower at a grizzly bear or something like that. But I mean, if you get one real good strike at a grizzly bear's face and you just slice it off,
I think you got to go with a stab. The stab has got to be the move.
Is it though? I don't know because here's the thing: it's like
you got fucking 2. Stab one of them.
Adrenaline is a motherfucker, right? So,
Yeah.
that bear is going to be feeling that just as much as you are. So if you're stabbing, I mean, how big's a bear's heart? It can't be like maybe double the size of ours, maybe. Like it isn't that. That's a small target, It's not.
Well, you think you're gonna slash enough? I mean, a bear's fucking hide.
No, I'm not sure either
tough.
one
You're
would
not
work.
slashing a bear.
I'm saying I don't know if a samurai sword is gonna save you from a bear. Is what I'm getting at.
That's not
a grizzly bear's heart sits in the low body cavity and is a very small target with little margin for error.
I would have fucking
Position of
missed
a
it
bear's
anyway.
heart
I would
in
have been
relation to
shooting
the
up
fur
here.
on its brisket.
I'd have been going for here.
Right? Yeah. I'd have just pissed him off more, and then got fucked up.
To me, like I would be trying to like as hard as I can hit it in the face. Because if it's as razor sharp as it is, maybe it can get through the bone and stuff like that. If I'm able to penetrate into the brain, maybe I could just it could just be done.
If you had a straight hammer swing right down on the top of his skull, that might be the best.
The hide is just so that's a tough animal. Like I think you got to go
how
something
thick is the skull?
Softer.
Okay.
Probably fucking 2 inches of skull before you.
is a bear's skull. Someone else's. The same as bear skulls vary in thicknesses depending on species. Black bears, for example, have skull thickness of usually a bit less than 1 inch. The same is true for brown bears. On average, the thickness for a grizzly bear skull is 1 to 1.5 inches.
Yeah,
Right.
you're not. No, you're,
That
that's
question was
Alright.
actually irrelevant because I still don't know how strong it is.
Yeah, we still don't know if we can really get
Yeah.
through that. But as a
Right,
man,
yeah.
part of me thinks I could fucking make a good dent.
Yeah.
Not like
There's no way I'm doing bear. There's no way. It's gotta go. I gotta go lower than bear.
because like I was thinking like a rhino or a hippo, like you're probably fucked
Ooh,
there.
no. You ain't fucking with a
no
rhino
shot.
hippo, I don't
The
think.
fun
Dude,
one
a
to me
hippo's
is
the
when
most
I
dangerous
was
fucking animal there
big
is.
cat. You gotta go big cat.
Big cat, I think I could take. I think I could do
see
a big
when I
cat.
was
Because
thinking
you
through this,
got
I was
some
thinking of
reach.
funny scenarios as well, and I was like thinking of me leaping off of the like roof of a truck and just fucking beheading a fucking giraffe like at the base of the neck,
Right? That
like a
would
tree
be
falling over.
Well, see, when
That could happen.
you said biggest animal, I'm thinking, okay, ostrich, pretty big, for sure. Take that
Big,
out
mean,
immediately.
like
Right.
something that's going to be aggressive probably, which the giraffe isn't asking for it, but that's where I would want to go. Is
But which
Dude,
one would you?
A giraffe will neck whip the fuck out of you though.
That's true.
that's true.
What would
That's
you?
why you guys got to take it down.
Pretty sure a neck whip from a giraffe would kill a man.
Well,
Yeah.
what would you rather? What would you rather do then? A gorilla or a grizzly bear with a samurai sword?
Gorilla.
Gorilla.
You think
100%.
so?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
a gorilla, if you're just talking hands, is probably just as scary as a grizzly bear because, like, the bear is just going to rip through you, but the gorilla is just going to literally split you in half, rip your arms off, and fuck you with it. Like,
Right.
the strength on those things is insane.
Well, that's what
And
I'm
the
getting
bite
at.
power.
So you think that you would be better off fighting the gorilla with the samurai sword?
Yeah, I don't think the skin is as thick or tough.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I feel
Silverback,
like the
I think you're gonna
anatomy.
be same anatomy.
The anatomy is going to be so similar to a
Right.
human that you're going to be able to like take a good
Yeah,
whack at
he's
the
gonna
neck.
definitely have a longer fucking reach than a human being, but
Yeah, if I feel like I could do a good whack with the samurai sword to the neck, and I might not cut the head straight off, but I'm getting down to that neck
And
bone enough where it is done.
I
think
feel
you
like
gotta
a
go with
gorilla
the
would
1
almost
and
be
1.
more situationally aware, though, too, of you like trying to hit it with the sword.
Maybe.
You know
And
what I
I'm
mean?
glad that we're
Like,
coming in with
to
the
put his
hard hitting
forearm up
information
or
for the people here.
Like a grizzly bear is just going to come up and like you might have like a straight up solid chance of hitting him square in the noggin with a hammer with a hammer swing, right? A grizzly or a fucking gorilla, I feel like is going to come at you, see it, and try to block it, like natural instinct, try to block it,
Maybe.
So
and then
I-
fucking grab you by your throat and rip your spine out of your back.
So yeah, I'm still not on bear, but I think that there's a baseline where at the minimum, like kangaroo, you're fucking a kangaroo up with
Oh,
your
yeah.
samurai swords.
Yeah.
You're probably getting a mountain lion. I think you can get with a couple samurai swords.
The
I even
mountain lion problem
think
is the speed.
Yeah, I think even a lion.
Ah, man, the
An
strength
African
there.
lion. Yeah, sure. Speed, strength. I mean, if you miss, you're fucked. But I feel like
Well, if
you'd
you miss
almost
in
be
any
able-
of these, you're fucked.
That's true.
So this is a good point here is we're going to have a lot of ideas and we're not going to come up with them all off the top of our head right now. But if you're watching this, hit the comments up. Tell us what you think you could take on with a samurai sword or 2. Your choice, dealer's choice. But you have an option of up to 2 samurai swords.
I think I'm taking
Right.
fucking 2.
And let us know what you think that you or other people could take down with the samurai sword.
All right.
All right, Matt, what you got anything for us?
I ain't got nothing offhand. You know, I came into this from putting up the damn Christmas tree and trying to get the house together. We had a freaking house. I had a house full this weekend, so we didn't have any time to put it up. And Houston's came to visit us
Very
down
nice.
from Fort Drum, so that was a lot of fun. So
Very nice.
not many topics off the top of my head right now.
All righty. Well, I got another one then. Do you guys know or can you think of any professions that might be out there in very limited quantities or a profession that there should be? Something that's kind of off the wall. Because I found one that I hadn't thought about before and hadn't heard about, but it's actually pretty hilarious. It would be probably sad in the moment, but it's called a coffin confessor. Have you ever heard of this?
No. What the fuck is a coffin confessor?
So if you are on your deathbed, you are able to hire, and you could go out and find this a coffin confessor. It is someone that will go to your funeral after you are dead and air out your shit. Like, if there's people that you are going to come to your funeral that you don't like, they will come and they will lay it out. Be like,
you.
hey, you're here for his funeral.
Damn.
He wants you to know you're a piece of shit, and you're fucking your wife's best friend, and
Oh,
like lay out the
Fuck,
shit,
dude.
because this person is able to go in, drop bombs, and leave essentially unscathed for the most part, because it's not their life. They don't care, right?
That would be,
Fuck shit.
dude. How much money do they get paid? That's my question. Like, is there like a?
I would assume that you can probably charge a decent fee, because this is a person on their deathbed. They have very little use for their money anymore other than what they're giving out to people. And there might be less people that they would be giving their money out to, because they're going to have this coffin confessor
Yes,
go in
if
and put people
You
in their
could
fucking
probably
place.
get a little bit of their death benefit. Maybe be like, oh, well, sign this. So I get a, you know.
If they're a coffin, if they're looking for a coffin confessor, I don't have too many hopes that they have a lot of people in their lives to leave things to.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Like-
the real question is if someone pays you to do the job, are they ever going to know if you did it?
Well, that's where you put it in like your last will and testament. I'm hiring this person. They have to take or actually fulfill this act, and then after the fact, they get paid by a person
legal
that's
paperwork,
taking care of their
Yeah,
estate.
that's true. You
in
know,
a trust.
Yep.
I feel like there would also have to be some sort of written documentation about what he's going to say, because like if it was an evil person, they could just be like, you know what? I'm just going to make their days suck way more than it had to, and just make a bunch of fucking lies up.
Look, I feel like we've been around an interesting group in the military, and you have some people that can really fucking, cut to the core of some people when they're getting into them. Like you've seen that like NCO that is a hard ass that can just break a person's fucking soul, and it's a perfect job for them when they get out. It's like, I'm going to fucking ruin this person's day, month, year, and maybe the rest of their life with this information.
I actually feel like that is the perfect career progression. You go from recruiter to a drill sergeant to a fucking coffin confessor. Like then at that point, you've done it all. You fuck them from the start. You're fucking over other people in the end. Like that's it.
Could either of you be a coffin confessor, do you think?
No,
I don't know.
I would love to think that I am a hardened asshole. Don't get me wrong, I have my fucking moments, but I don't have it in me to truly be malicious, even if it's on somebody else's behalf.
That's the thing is that I don't think I could do it on a regular basis, but there's certain people in my life that I know that like if I could just fucking do something to them, I would. And so if I were to go to someone's deathbed and they were to tell me a story and give me the facts and really sell me on it, where it's not your hate for this person anymore. I hate this person and I want to fucking do this for you. And yeah, pay me. Like I might be able to do it here and there. It would definitely be a one-off type thing. But that's the thing is like, you kind of got to be malicious. And I have a little bit of empathy and I like to see both sides of the coin on certain situations. But like, if I were to like go to a pedophile's fucking or a funeral and like get after a pedophile, like that sort of shit. Like if you sell me in the right situation.
Yeah, but what if the dude who's gang is the pedophile?
If it's a pedophile's funeral.
Yeah.
No.
You have to do all his confessions.
I started to say that wrong. It's not a pedophile's funeral, but the guy whose funeral it is like, my son's a pedophile and he's a piece of shit. And people don't know it.
There we go.
I'd be like, all right, all right.
Yeah. I'm not doing a pedophile's funeral.
That is a very interesting job title.
Coffin confessor.
To say the least.
Coffin confessor.
Yeah.
God.
I'm gonna look up one here in Huntsville.
Is it an actual profession?
I don't know. I've watched a couple of videos of people talking about it.
All right.
Bro, if this is not a thing, copyright.
It's a niche market.
Yeah. Dude, I'll fucking do it with you. I don't know if I could do it permanently, but if
we could be the managers for him. We
Yeah.
basically are headhunters, and
I'll
and
do
then-
one to get my feet wet to say I did it, and then I'll go be the guy who does everything else.
No, it's a real thing. You got there's a company it's a coffin confessor, grave whisperer, and private confessor.
Mm.
So they'll deliver messages, all sorts of things at your funeral after you're dead.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now, where is this? Just one company that does this nationally, or
Can we franchise it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking. There's
Yeah. Not only is this show about bullshit, we talk business apparently.
Yeah, like we're all strapping young lads who would like a
Yeah.
little bit extra money in our pockets.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if we can find a way to do that and game the system, fuck it, let's go.
Uh-huh.
hell yeah.
So, Matt, did you find that? Is it just one national company, or is it like
This one in particular is looks like it's a I don't know if it's a national company. This dude is. I wish I could post that. Actually, that dude is. I would not want him doing that.
All right, Evo, do you have another video?
I do. It's the one that I
Okay.
was saying that I was going to
We
save
don't-
and possibly not do it.
We do not need to do that. I have one video, but it's about 30 seconds. It's probably my favorite thing on the internet that I have found within the last month.
All right. By the way, real quick, coffin confessor, the most famous one, his name is Bill Edgar, and I think he's based out of Australia.
Oh, so Bill Edgar's a real fucking asshole, isn't he?
Yeah.
It looked like there was a show on Netflix too for that.
He has a book. It's on Amazon. The Coffin Confessor, Bill Edgar. 4.3 out of 5 stars.
That dude's probably got the best fucking stories. Like to
Oh,
sit around a
he's been-
campfire and
Listen,
drink
here's
or
the
drink with that motherfucker.
I am in no position to fight anybody right now either. And I feel like you got to be ready to fight somebody.
all the time.
Okay, if we were to make this a legit business that does this, the insurance, the liability insurance for your employees is going to be kind of fucking insane. But I feel like you also have to have a personal bodyguard with the coffin confessor who goes out to protect them.
Yeah.
Then you could have anyone go out there and do this, and then you've got this burly 400-pound dude with strapped there to protect them just in case.
But then you're paying 2 guys, but 1 guy who can fight can do.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like the commissions are going to have to be right.
Yeah.
If you want to air your shit, we'll do it, but it's going to cost you.
This is true. And we'll have different tiers,
Yeah. Different levels.
Yeah.
This is the fuck you package.
Mhm.
This is the fuck you package. And then
I feel like you could get lawyers to do this shit too. I mean, they're assholes.
Yeah.
I think
Fuck
Mike
you.
knows that. I know that.
I think that
They're
already
assholes.
happens though.
Fuck assholes. Dude, they're fucking assholes. Lawyers are fucking scumbags.
All right, Mike, what video you got?
Oh my god. I was sitting on the couch with my wife, not producer Amber. She's just Amber in the show. And I was super baked, kind of like I am right now. And she found this video. Apparently, it comes from somewhere else, but this is the only version of this video that I have ever seen. I laughed, belly laughed for I don't know, 30 fucking minutes. Have you guys seen this?
I don't
No.
think so.
It's so fucking funny.
I can't hear it.
What? Okay, hang on. God damn it. Entire screen. I didn't hit the extra button to share the audio.
This is a mockery. Don't you mean a robbery?
Oh my god. All right. This fucking- All right.
Put your hands up. This is a mockery. Don't you mean a robbery?
This one actually cuts to the core.
Put your hands up.
Because my woman loves to do this shit to me. We'll be arguing about something and she's when she's losing, which is all the time because I'm.
Oh my god.
This fucking video, dude, I was dying. Oh my god. Yeah, Amber laughed her ass off too. Not in the same position I was in either.
That's too funny.
Oh my god. All right. Well, that's all I had, man.
All right. Well, I might do just for us boys after the recording's over for Coop, because I already kind of showed a little bit to Mike and talked about it, but a little after hours with this video. Maybe it'll someday make its way onto the show or something like that when I know that I'm not going to get in trouble with my employer.
There you go.
But I
or
guess,
you get to 100% disability.
Yeah, and then it's just fuck the world. But all right, anyone else got anything else, boys?
That's it, man.
I got nothing, brother. Take us out of here.
All right. Well, you've watched our 5th episode of The Talk. Thank you for joining us. Mike, the socials, what are we on?
We are on Twitter, Facebook,
X.
and that's it right now.
All righty.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Fucking X, whatever.
X. Fucking. But if you want to type something on X, it's still a tweet.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, thank you for
Fuck out,
tuning in,
Elon.
everybody. This is the type of bullshit that we like to do, just to talk about random stuff, political, government, military, fighting off animals with samurai swords. So thank you for joining us on The Talk. We'll try to get more of these episodes out to you in the near future. And if you have any ideas for stuff for us to talk about, hit one of us up or make a comment on the show. Let us know. But until the next time, boys, see you later.
Deuces.
Hard work.